by any veins in January. On the other hand, ranchers are watching Nebraska's new producer-owned meat packing plant with keen interest. With four corporations controlling 90% of the U.S. market, Wyoming cattle producers see this as a possible model to reclaim pricing power. We used to have meat packing plants in Wyoming, and then, like, not that long ago, they all got legislated out of practice. So now we got to figure that out. Meanwhile, snow finally arrives in the Tetons. So if you're a skier, a rider, you just like the snow, to the Tetons. I have skied the Tetons. I've skied Jackson Hole and Grand Targhee. Anyway, they are opening after a delayed start, while Yellowstone roads open today for winter snowmobile and snow coach travel. Be aware, folks, if you are in Yellowstone riding a snowmobile, animals are not toys. So don't use animals as like something to chase down. High winds continue to close I-80 and I-25 to light vehicles, reminding us that Wyoming's winter is always a test of endurance. And controversy swirls around Darren Smith. He's Trump's nominee for U.S. Attorney in Wyoming. Senators are calling him unqualified, pointing to his ties to January 6th. And that fight is just beginning. Across the region, immigration enforcement is intensifying. Laramie County deputies are working directly with ICE, raising questions about local priorities and community trust. In Arkansas, 6 school districts, I don't know why I have that. I don't need to know that. Well, okay, I'm going to share because I said it and I know people in Arkansas. In Arkansas, 6 school districts face state intervention for failing standards. There you go, my friends in Arkansas. Nationally, the Supreme Court is weighing Trump's attempt to deploy the National Guard in Illinois. Gun rights cases are piling up for nearly early 2026, and severe flooding in Washington state has forced 100,000 residents to evacuate, while the Northeast braces for up to 30 inches of snow. And from what I understand, more rain's coming. And with that, the Senate blocking an extension of Obamacare or ACA, American Affordability Act. Okay, that's not right either. ACA, American Care Act. Okay, going with Obamacare at this moment. Millions of Americans, including thousands here in Wyoming, will see their premiums spike. My insurance is going up and down. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with my insurance. I'm a little nervous, but I'm also at the point where I'm like, just forget it. All right, but insurance premiums, we're going to keep an eye on that because that's something big that's happening. Also, I was at the grocery store. I'm going to interject this. I was at the grocery store. I used to be able to buy a family-sized box of Lucky Charms for $5, right? $4.99 on, not even on sale, just $4.99. You can't get a box of any size cereal for less than like $7.99 at the store, or at least at the stores that I shop at. It's absolutely ridiculous. So while insurance premiums are spiking, so are grocery prices, despite any and everyone's denial that the economy is hurting. Internationally, tragedy in Sydney. Maybe some of you heard this. Before I go internationally, Rob Reiner was murdered in his home, apparently. That just takes the breath out of me. I'm going to hold a moment of silence for Rob Reiner and his wife and all those that love him and hold him close and dear. So now let's go internationally. Tragedy in Sydney. A mass shooting at a Hanukkah event left 15 dead and 42 injured, including rabbis and a Holocaust survivor. In Delhi, emergency pollution measures were invoked as air quality hit severe. India's space agency scheduled the Indo-US Bluebird 6 satellite launch to December 21st. They rescheduled it. That satellite launch is carrying the heaviest U.S. commercial satellite ever launched from India. And in tech, Google unveiled Project Suncatcher, aiming to deploy solar-powered data centers in space by 2027. Wow, kind of cool. I mean, there's two sides, Rashomon. I can talk about the Rashomon effect too. I'm going to probably leave that for tomorrow because I had something happen on Saturday and I was like, oh my God, this is the Rashomon. All right. So where are we? We're here. I'm in Wyoming, where sometimes the wind blows. And it blows so much that it's hard to explain. But somehow we persevere. Wyoming ranchers are eyeing new models of independence. They're not new models, they're just repeat models. We should have always had our own meat packing here in Wyoming. But again, like I said before, it got legislated out of practice. So it's good to see that people see the necessity of us being able to process our own meat right here locally. Lawmakers are bracing for billion-dollar decisions. That's the Wyoming legislature. Families are facing healthcare hikes, and communities worldwide are confronting floods, fires, pollution, violence. This isn't just news, it's a measure of resilience, dignity, and survival in a world that just keeps testing us. That is my Monday news brief for today. Stay steady, stay informed, and let's carry the weight of this day with clarity. Check me out tomorrow, Tuesday, for workers' justice. I want to talk about what happens. Everything I've talked about with workers' justice is on the idea or the theory that you are still within the organization, that the restorative justice is while you're still employed within the organization. But I'm going to pivot a little bit tomorrow and talk about you don't work there anymore. And because you don't work there anymore, but you're still carrying something, like you don't feel like you got your justice, nobody was held accountable for their treatment, we're going to talk about things that you can do now to seek social and restorative justice from a previous employer that doesn't include the legal system. So hopefully you'll catch me tomorrow, Tuesday, and I'm going to keep going because you know I am. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you soon.